Today we're going to talk about inclusion in the classroom. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the three different definitions for inclusion. The first one would be full inclusion, and that is where all students belong in a mainstream setting. All students are in a group learning beside each other and monitoring the development and progression of all students. The second one will be partial inclusion, and that is where you have some inclusion time in a general ed setting. However, you do get pull-out time in a smaller setting to where you can focus on the deficits that the student may have. The third one is mainstreaming, and that is just where the students with disabilities are in a self-contained specialized special ed program. And they very rarely will get any inclusion time, and they will also you will also communicate the plan to support the staff and integrate a student at a pace that is appropriate for the student. The possible barriers of inclusion are behavior. If a student is having behaviors, then that can cause some concerns. Leadership, they still don't have it. They just kind of go with the flow. And then stereotyping and unconscious bias for possible barriers. How inclusion can affect both students with ASD and the general ed peers. It can make the ASD kids feel more like they're apart, away from the other kiddos in the class. And it can also have the gen ed peers. You can also have your gen ed peers work with students of different abilities, so they kind of start understanding what students with ASD lack. The other thing is the lack of social skills that affects those with ASD and the general ed setting. So for some kiddos with ASD, they may have social skills concerns, and so gen ed kids may not understand certain things that the student with ASD is doing. 3 strategies that can be used to promote inclusion in the general ed classroom. That's peer partnering, finding a task that they can easily and independently do on their own, and pre-teaching the information. That way they can make the connection when the lesson is being taught. And then our last thing is 2 resources for y'all to use to find out more information about inclusion. That is the www.ala.org advocacy, and then also www.friendshipcircle.org.